You know, the problem isn't that you feel busy, it's that you're addicted to the feeling of multitasking. And this addiction, it's costing you 40% of your output and triggering chronic stress. But what if I told you there was a counterintuitive focus method that could instantly make you 10 times more effective? Well, we're about to show you exactly how it works.
Let's really just sit with this statement for a second, because it is the key to everything. Most of us, right, we wear busyness like it's a badge of honor. We think juggling a dozen tasks at once is a sign of being super productive. But the neuroscience, it tells a completely different story. It proves this isn't just wrong, it's a productivity myth that is actively sabotaging your potential. That feeling of getting a ton done while you're multitasking, it's a total illusion. And your brain is paying a massive, hidden price for every single switch you make.
Okay, let's put a real number on that price. 40%. That is the actual quantifiable drop in your productivity when you try to multitask. I mean, think about it this way. It's like leaving work at 3 p.m. every single day, but still expecting a full day's pay. That's what's being stolen from you by the constant switching between your emails, your messages, and your actual projects. This isn't some small leak. It's a massive, gaping hole in your effectiveness.
Now here's where it gets really interesting. If you could just eliminate that 40% loss, what's the potential gain? It's not just about getting that time back. By adopting what we call the monastic commitment to single tasking, you don't just patch the leak, you unlock a state of peak performance. The cognitive efficiency you gain can make your focused output 10 times more effective than the fractured, low-quality effort of constant switching. So this isn't about working harder, it's about working way, way smarter inside a system that's built for deep focus.
So here's our roadmap. We're going to start by breaking down the multitasking paradox and the shocking science behind something called the 23-minute attention tax. Then we'll build the monastic focus system and get into the neuroscience of the flow state it creates. And finally, we'll give you a super clear 3-step protocol and a 10x productivity challenge to put it all into action. Let's dive in.
All right, Section 1, the multitasking paradox. Here's the fundamental truth you need to get. Your brain is a serial processor, not a parallel one. It's designed to do one thing at a time and do it exceptionally well. What we call multitasking is really just rapid, super inefficient task switching. And as we're about to see, every single one of those switches comes with a crippling cognitive cost. True high performance isn't about juggling more, it's all about focusing on less.
Okay, now let's give a name to the hidden enemy of your performance, the attention residue crisis. This is the scientific diagnosis for why you feel so drained at the end of a busy day, even when it feels like you've barely accomplished anything. It's the cumulative effect of a hidden tax you're paying every single time you switch your focus.
So what in the world is attention residue? Well, imagine this. You're writing a report, and you quickly glance at an email. When you go back to the report, a part of your brain is still stuck on that email. It's still thinking about who sent it, what it means, how you need to reply. That cognitive hangover is attention residue. It just shatters your focus, tanks your performance, and makes your work on the new task way shallower and much more likely to have errors. This is exactly why a day of constant switching is so exhausting. Your brain never, ever gets to fully engage.
And this right here, this illustrates the staggering cost. Research from the University of California, Irvine shows that it takes, on average, 23 minutes and 15 seconds to regain your original level of deep concentration after an interruption. Just let that sink in. 23 minutes every single time you switch. That 30-second glance at a notification, you just paid for it with over 23 minutes of your peak cognitive ability. Do that just a few times an hour, and you've basically obliterated any chance of producing high-quality, deep work for the entire day.
So now that we've diagnosed the disease, let's talk about the cure. This is the monastic focus system. And look, this isn't just a tip or hack, it's a rigorous strategic framework designed to systematically wipe out the attention tax and engineer the conditions for elite performance. This is how you stop being busy and start being truly effective. But before we even get to the steps, we have to talk about the one single non-negotiable prerequisite of this entire system, a zero-distraction environment. This is not about trying to ignore your phone or hoping you don't get a notification. No, this is a zero-tolerance policy. It means you actually architect your physical and digital space so that distractions are not just unlikely, but impossible. This foundation is absolutely everything. So here's how the 3 pillars build on each other. First, you've got the monastic commitment. This is an active, physical choice to remove all those distraction cues, like your phone, from your environment. Second, the deep work sprint. With the distractions gone, you dedicate a protected 90 to 120-minute block to one single task. And these two pillars together create the conditions for the third, flow state activation. This is the holy grail of productivity, that state of total immersion where your performance just goes through the roof.
Okay, so we've covered the what, now let's get into the why. Why is this system so unbelievably effective? Well, it's because it's designed to work with your brain's biology, not against it. It conserves your most precious mental resources and actually rewires your brain's reward system to start craving deep focus instead of shallow distraction.
This comparison just makes the difference so clear. On the left, you see the multitasking brain. It's constantly paying that high switch cost. This totally overloads your prefrontal cortex. That's the CEO of your brain, responsible for all the big stuff like planning and decision-making. That overload triggers the stress hormone cortisol, and that leads to low-quality, air-filled work. But look at the right. The single-tasking brain has zero switch cost. It conserves the energy of the PFC, letting it go all in on the task. This focused state triggers the good stuff, the reward chemicals dopamine and norepinephrine, fueling that amazing state of effortless flow and producing incredibly high-quality output.
So here's the powerful chemical reaction you're actually creating. By eliminating that cognitive switch cost, you are directly conserving the very finite energy of your prefrontal cortex. You're basically taking your brain's CEO off of busy work and letting it focus on the most important project. This process not only cuts down on stress-inducing cortisol, but it triggers this cascade of dopamine and norepinephrine. And the result? It literally makes the act of focusing feel good. It becomes rewarding all on its own, creating this positive feedback loop that makes deep concentration feel, well, effortless.
Okay, we've gone through the theory and the science. Now let's make this super practical. This next section is your playbook. It's a clear, non-negotiable protocol you can use to implement this entire system starting today to immediately reclaim your focus and unlock that next level of output.
Here are the 3 simple steps. 1. The digital quarantine. Before you even begin, you're going to physically place your smartphone in another room. Not on silent, in another room. This is a pre-commitment to focus. 2. The deep work sprint. Block out a non-negotiable 90-minute slot in your calendar for one specific task. Protect this time like it's the most important meeting of your day, because frankly, it is. 3. The completion ritual. When that timer goes off, stop. Take 60 seconds and just write down exactly what you accomplished. This simple act signals cognitive closure to your brain, clearing out that attention residue so you can move on cleanly to the next thing.
We've built the case, we've explained the system, and we've given you the protocol. So now we arrive at the challenge. This is where we move from theory to real transformation. This is about taking this knowledge and forging it into a brand new way of working and living.
This quote is really the core philosophy of the whole system. True productivity isn't about adding more apps or more lists or more hacks. It's about ruthless subtraction. It's about removing the distractions, eliminating the unnecessary switching, and just clearing the path for the one thing that truly matters. Gaining control is all about letting go of the illusion of control that multitasking gives you.
So here it is, the final comparison, side by side. Multitasking creates that 40% productivity loss and leaves you feeling fragmented and stressed, all because you're paying that absurd 23-minute attention tax on every single switch. Single tasking is the antidote. It solves the problem of fragmentation and erases that recovery cost. And why this matters is simple. It provides a reliable system for producing 10x quality output, leaving you feeling focused and in a state of flow.
And that framework, the Monastic Commitment and the deep work sprint, that's the key that unlocks the psychology. By committing to this system, you are actively choosing to conserve your brain's precious, finite energy. You stop wasting it on constantly trying to figure out what to do next. Instead, you channel all of it into a single point of focus, and that allows that powerful, effortless flow state to emerge. You finally stop fighting your biology and start working with it. So ultimately, I want you to remember this. Productivity isn't about doing more. It's about mastering systems that make focus effortless. The choice is no longer between working hard and being distracted. It's between fractured, low-quality effort and deep, high-impact focus. So the question is simple. Will you take the 90-minute challenge tomorrow? Will you commit to a single digital quarantine and actually feel the profound difference for yourself?